for Imran. No? If you know the journey, you know how grateful I am. He wants a cat, but we cannot have a cat. So I'm going to look for what's it called? He said a digger with a remote. He has this sensor he uses. Shall the digger go get motor something?
That'll be our birthday.
Like a truck. Or
truck.
Okay. That's the toy he wants. So.
Yes, he says. Iman is very specific about his emotions. Somebody that has the terms to describe whatever it is. That is
all right, move to talk with. How was your weekend? How you doing? Nice earrings.
Thank
heavy
you.
Though.
Honey pots. No, actually, not
very
really.
light.
Actually, I think it's in between.
Yeah.
I've got lighter ones.
Honey pot has been plugging a lot of people. Even Mayam last week had a really nice...
Yes, we are our customers. She knows what we want. Once she gets a new collection, she will not send to us. But Abuja was good. Yeah. I want to live in Abuja.
Me too. Everybody I know is moving to Abuja.
I want to live in Abuja. It's so calm. You know, when you open your bridge, you open your window and you're seeing hills. Hills and mountains.
You know, I went to Abuja too. And now, so usually when I go to Abuja, I go there often. But recently I went with Brown. And Brown had the same feeling you had. Like, are you sure we shouldn't move? He's looking for schools. We don't do school shopping. I would love anyway, we inspect a few schools, but just in case.
I told my husband, I'm like, we're going to open an office in Abuja. I'm going to do business. Maybe we'll do your view in Abuja. I don't mind hosting your view.
Nice. Lagos is too crowded.
I really want to move to Abuja also. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm not moving yet.
Lagos is still...
I'm here making money. I want to make money here. I'm okay. I'm just taking it one day at a time. There's a lot on my table, but God will see me through.
Oh, you'll be good. You'll be fine. Oh, we won an award. Let me not forget.
Why you arrange your table with the...
Marketing Edge Outstanding TV Program of the Decade is what? YourView! Thank you so much. I was there, Marketing Edge. Thank you very much. They really acknowledged us. 10 years, YourView Outstanding TV show. Yeah, and I also got for the... Outstanding hostess of the decade. Thank you so much.
This is well deserved.
Yeah, I went there and I saw a lot of industry.
Yeah, Marketing Edge is not the ones they pay for.
Not a pay. Everybody was a full hall. All the major MDs were there, and it was. I mean, I was so proud. I had the opportunity to also host with Mega Deyinka. It was a really nice event.
I loved your dress.
Thank you.
As they were,
you were hot.
The body.
You were the dress and the body.
That dress, I had the many.
I know the dress.
We went around. I was looking for a dress. I didn't have any dress.
You've lost that much.
Yeah. I went to go and look for that dress. It was somewhere in the cooler.
Help me. I still like my food. I don't want to join those food.
So that you're not too small.
It's Monday.
Yeah, so let's go to a break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with The Nation. Dispute stalls federal government immediately plea bargain talks. Aerial view of some of the 30 illegal refineries bombed into destruction by Air Force in Rivers State. 5 die, 12 injured in multiple Lagos Ibadan highway crash. $55 million NLNG dividend. FAC queries NNPCL. Exporters lead forex supply. FG NLC meet on planned strike. Umahi, we inherited 6 trillion naira funding gap on the 2,604 projects. And controversy over 418 million naira Paris Club refunds lingers. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Let's start with the human interest story in the nation. So they said 5 people have been confirmed dead and a dozen of others injured in a multiple accident at Ogumaki, which was a few meters away from the 4-square camp corridor of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. They said the 4 persons were rescued on huts by operatives of the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, and the Nigerian police. And the auto crash involved 3 vehicles, which happened at about 6:15 a.m. yesterday. So the sector commander, FRSC Ogun State, Anthony Oga, was the one who confirmed the accident and attributed the cause to speed, said the tire burst and also loss of control on the part of the truck driver, whose truck now stayed as an obstruction on the road, and other vehicles just rammed into it in the confusion. So he said the injured victims were already taken to Victory Hospital, Ogere, for medical attention, and the remains of the dead were deposited at the morgue in Ipara.
Okay,
go ahead.
Let's take the major headline in the nation. According to the nation, there's a plea bargaining presently going on between the former CBN governor, or the suspended CBN governor, because it's not exactly removed by the Senate. The plea bargain presently is being stalled because, according to them, what they are tracking runs into trillions of naira, and the suspended CBN governor and other officials that are also being investigated are not offering more than a few billions. So they have stalled that, and there's also rumor that, because it's not confirmed, that the former suspended CBN governor has resigned in August. Not confirmed, no sources named, but the plea bargain presently ongoing has stopped, and I hope that it stops. So they says if that happens, he's definitely going to face trial himself and the officials being investigated. Right. Also, the anchor borrower scheme is due, and they're not a large amount of money has not been paid back by those borrowers. The farmers and anchor borrower scheme that he ran. So all of those investigations have hit brick wall right now, and I hope that they continue those investigations and they find people who will face trial for monies that they're taking.
Okay, so talks between the federal government and Labour would resume today. The meeting was at the instance of the Labour and Employment Minister, Simon Along, and it was confirmed by the Secretary to the General Secretary to the NLC, that's Emma Ugbuaja. He'll say that today they'll be having a meeting. If you recall, the last meeting that was called, NLC didn't show up. I think it was only Tuesday that was there. And also, just as a note of reminder, one of the issues NLC was having is the immediate reversal of the anti-poor policies of the federal government, including the recent price hike in PMS, increase in public school fees, the release of 8 months withheld salaries of university teachers and workers, as well as the increased VAT. So these are some of the issues that they need to discuss and renegotiate, and I'm happy that talks will resume today, and hopefully it doesn't end in a deadlock like it did back in September.
So I want to take the story. The Minister for Works, David Umahi, anytime I have to take his story, I feel like I'm swallowing my words, because I was one of those that felt like, I don't know what David Umahi has done. Well, now we are seeing he's very active. The Minister for Works had a meeting with the President to brief him concerning how many roads are being under construction, that they inherited 2,604 roads, covering 18,000 kilometers, costing 14 trillion naira. And that since this administration came into power, they were able to release 4 trillion naira to contractors, and there's a 10 trillion naira need to balance up. But out of the 10 trillion naira, only 4 trillion naira have they been able to source. So there's a deficit of 6 trillion naira, which is what we know. A lot of road construction doesn't finish because they don't have the funds released to them. He said some of these projects have been ongoing for 20 years, even 10 years. That his meeting with the president was to discontinue projects that are over 10 years old. They will be re-awarded, because some have had 8 years, no fund was released to those particular contracts. He said, looking at the number of the volume of projects that are ongoing in Nigeria right now, the focus must be to properly clear it out. He has threatened to fight any entity that is planning to frustrate his goals. He said, I know there are a lot of fights from contractors, but I am David. I'm known for fights. I will fight this because I've reported myself to the president ahead. So we're looking forward to how this fight will resolve to the benefits of the people. That is my own.
He has been influenced by his friend.
By Wike. Although I was in Abuja, they expecting work for Wike to do. Let's go.
Okay. How many days you go by Abuja?
I don't understand. I was in Abuja for.
Are you in the political setting? You want to go arrest? Please calm down. This Abuja. We hear what now? Daily Sun. Panic in CBN as probe expands. Shake up in NNPCL as 3 EV. You have a story? I missed the story? Oh, not don't punch. No, sorry. I folded it. Let's go back to punch. Marketers eye fresh fuel price hike as crude hits $94. 2 hospitalized as 500-room Lagos building collapses. NDLEA rescues pregnant teenagers, arrests suspected drug traffickers. Cardoso, National Assembly plans quick screening, private sector demands reforms. Oyo Mercy awaiting Makinde as new Alaafin, says Bashorun. 12.5 kg cooking gas price may hit 18,000 naira by December. And FG Labour meets today on post-subsidy talks.
Let's talk about this gas matter, because everybody is going to feel the impact. This gas that we used to buy for 7,000, 8,000 naira, they're saying that the gas retailers are warning Nigerians that the price is likely going to reach 18,000 naira by December if the federal government does not restrict the activities of terminal owners. So this isn't about even the cost of sourcing. It's for them, the ridiculous hike in gas price going on right now is based on terminal owners, that the price could reach 18,000 and the federal government needs to step in. That there's a sudden increment from 9 trillion to 14 trillion by 20 metric, over 20 metric tons. They've asked that the NNPCL takes 59% of the gas production by the NLNG. And NLNG has also increased the price from 6 million to 8 million. And now, because NLNG has increased price, NNPCL has increased price. The terminal owners too have increased price. And they are expecting that the ordinary man might not be able to afford to cook with cooking gas. They might have to resort to firewood. It will affect their businesses. They are expecting that there must be a flat rate put in place that says this forex price keeps going up. It would continue to affect everything. The government should step in.
Major headline, that's also another issue. So marketers yesterday said that the rise in the cost of crude oil, coupled with the depreciation of the naira against the US dollar, might lead to a hike in the pump price of petrol. They said the rise in crude oil price to about $94 per barrel, and the crisis around, the forex is gradually increasing the amount being quietly spent as subsidy on petrol by the federal government. So, they went to explain the crude oil, what we are getting now. I said Brent's crude, the global benchmark for oil, rose to $94 per barrel on Sunday, which has been the highest figure in 2023. They started this year at $82 per barrel, and which also dipped at some point $70 per barrel in June, but then traded again above $92 per barrel in the past week. And they said naira has been fluctuating between $9.30, $9.50 $1, and the forex scarcity has worsened. And so it now seems like even though the government had claimed that it has stopped the payment of subsidy, it seems like they are going behind to implement quasi-subsidy, because now we're not paying what is commensurate to what they are getting, what they are buying, the crude. We're supposed to be paying really high now, but we're still within 580-something, 70-something to 600, depending on the filling station you buy the fuel from. So if we continue like that, that means they've gone behind and government is paying subsidy.
This happened in the last administration where silently for a long time we didn't know before they called it
deductions.
Something, they called it different names.
Gave it different names.
Before we finally called it what it was. I'm hoping that it doesn't happen.
Let me take this story, really painful. A building collapsed in Agboiketu area of Lagos State. It's supposed to be a 500-room building within Agboiketu. I was surprised, 500 room. So I think, according to this report, it used to be a school. On Sunday afternoon, as residents were trying to salvage their belongings, the building crumbled and crushed quite a few. I think just 2 people actually hospitalized, fighting for their lives. During the visit to the affected areas, dozens of residents were still moving their belongings in different directions. Now, Punch reminded us that back in 2014, they had done a report about this particular building. And they said that during an investigation, they had written a report back then, where saying that a 500-room house in Lagos where tenants were living like prisoners. According to that report back then, it chronicled the horrible living conditions of tenants of Agboye Estate, who contended with snakes, scorpions, and other dangerous animals because of the stagnant sewage water at the back of the building. During that time, the Lagos State government had sealed up the building, but a few days later, it was reopened. Maybe because residents were obviously clamoring for, they wanted to reopen. No, they crumbled. And they've been trying to see if they can get to Lasema to get the updates from the Dr. Femi Okeoson, but not yet, according from the time of this report. But it's really sad that that building has finally collapsed, caved in.
What's even sad is the one that people brought up themselves. The moment it was sealed and certified on fit to be occupied, people leave.
But okay, let's go on a
break.
When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this, because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? Think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking, because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I don't
overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk now. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalking.
That's good talking.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without
Wow.
So there's a name that thing that's.
I'm just drinking because you said I should drink. There's no particular answer.
You think it's only that can be wicked?
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah. They claim you did, but you said it just happened. That
And it's called what again?
Subterfuge.
Such a feud.
SUBTERFUGE.
So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to become such. Yeah?
The nude wasn't like a game plan. Or...
I promise you, it was actually a mistake. Like it was sending it to someone, and it just mistakenly just.
Yeah.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Nima has a story.
There's hope for, the story. When APC was taking the NNPCL story, my mind was in camp. But now we have hope because the president has nominated 5 senior officials of the CBN. Mr. Yemi Cardoso as the CBN governor and 4 new deputy governors of the CBN, Musoro, Mohammed Abdullahi Datijo, Philip. Majorly, what they'll be focusing on, of course, is FX. Recovering all this Bora thing that we saw happening like magic. And of course, getting the Naira to some strong level and removing these double-digit interest rates. I'm hoping, seriously hoping, that we can increase production, focus on trade and exports, which is one of the things that we have, diversify from oil and do something better for our country. We need to
celebrate when oil prices go up.
Yes.
Because we know our revenue will increase. Now we are panicking.
We need to do that.
Daily Sun, panic in CBN as probe expands. Obi in Bangladesh says SME is key to global economic growth. Shake-up in NNPCL as 3 EVPs for police disobedience of court orders. Actor Jimmy Odukoya succeeds dad as church overseer. Ramfak defends salaries of political office holders, puts Tinubu's pay at less than 1.5 million naira monthly, ministers below 1 million naira.
Executive vice presidents of the NNPCL have retired. They were supposed to retire in 2024, but because, they want to immediately fast track and pave way for the injection of new younger faces in the national energies, Abdulkabir Ahmed Adokiye Tombiye, who is the EVP for upstream, and Adeyemi Adetunji, EVP for downstream, have all retired and they've been replaced with immediate effect. And let me not bother mentioning the names of the replacements. So hopefully these ones will come and do us better, where NNPC will be able to give us, open their book.
And 1,000 traders have gone to court to appeal to the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi-San, to stop the Inspector General of Police as well as the Urban Shelter Limited from carrying out any construction work. There's this particular area in Abuja, Area 7 shopping complex, and they are taking it was illegally demolished according to them, and they're taking the case to court, and at the place that was demolished, even the AGF steps in and stops the company from starting construction work, since initially they shouldn't have demolished the place in the first place. And they are appealing that they had already planned to put temporary shops within the place, and this area, 1,000 businesses were dependent on that particular location in Garki, Abuja, and they are hoping the AGF will step in for them and protect their interest.
So the presidential candidate of the LP, that's Peter Obi, was in Bangladesh. Our president just got from India. He also went to India. He went for the Global Summit for media, and he was specifically saying that he was underscoring the importance of small, medium enterprises. He was saying specifically that, let me find his remarks here. He urged that SMEs are emerging as the undisputed engine of rapid economic expansion and growth globally, and they must be encouraged. He said that it has the same immense impact on India, where SMEs account for 40%. He urged the Commonwealth nations to pay very special attention to small businesses, which have proven to be the fulcrum upon which sustainable and inclusive growth development can happen in any nation. So he was speaking there in Bangladesh, and it was good to see that he was also in support of the need for SMEs to be supported.
So Chairman of the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RAMFAC, is saying that contrary to popular speculation that political office holders in Nigeria do not earn outrageous emoluments. And he said that against the backdrop of the recent rumor of a proposed 114% increase in salaries of political office holders by the commission, that Nigerians were describing this as very wrong because of the biting economic situations in the country. He said the salary increase is not true and that their salaries have not been reviewed since 2007. from 2008 till date, nothing has been done to their salaries, that they were just concerned. And some individuals had initially taken the matter to court, where the judge ruled that at least a judge should be paid about 10 million naira a month. But he says they will not be contemplating increasing their salaries for now because of the economic hardship that everybody is facing and the challenges Nigerians are facing. But however, they are going to look into it, and they will try their best to do it when the time is right, when things sort of settle a bit in the country. And he says that they are not really paid jumbo salaries. He said the monthly salary of Mr. President is about less than 1.5 million naira. And that of a minister, hold on now, that of a minister is not up to 1 million naira. Official. But he says there's this money they give to them to run their office, which goes to them directly. Normally outside the country, there's a body that handles it. But here it goes to them, and they're supposed to use it for the statutory work they do, and then retire the receipts back to the government. Like every month you retire what you spend, on your... so that's where we think they are earning so much. But their basic salary is not more than that amount that they have mentioned. And he went ahead to say that Nigerians should try as much as possible to pay their taxes. We have...
they should mention that money.
Okay, let's move on to...
Why are you asking me the question?
I was going to take a story. Okay, we're taking Bangladesh. Who else has taken in the story? Daily Sun. Okay, let's move on now to Vanguard or Tribune. Which stories? Let's go to Vanguard very quickly. Anger's Ramfak defends jumbo pay of National Assembly members and others. Obasanjo's stand-up order will respond at appropriate time. Impeachment move. Senators disagree over plot to remove Akpabio. Students' visa. UK hikes fees for Nigerians and others. Unical sex scandal. Women Affairs Minister apologizes. 1.1 trillion naira anchors borrowers funds. Bank chiefs risk unrest. Tinubu nominates Jamila Ibrahim, Youth Minister, Olawande, Minister of State, and Lagos downpour collapses building with 500 rooms. Okay.
So there's this story very close to my heart. UK DA to increase student visa applications with 34.99%. So now, starting October 4, 2023, Nigerians student and other foreign students, international students try to go to UK, especially our own, be paying 490 pounds, which amounts to 409,640 present exchange rate.
It's not their fault.
It's not their fault. According to Home Office, that's where big sector and pay increases in the UK. So now be market.
Yes.
Now before when they now collect the money finish, now they will say we have plenty.
Now you want to go there.
They have their own.
If they need money, they will not talk how much they
Can we move on? We're not discussing.
I'm just
design your country.
Please, another way you pay my body. The matter that trended over the weekend. Elder statesman, former president of Nigeria.
Oh, okay, that one.
So, in the wake of the alleged ridiculing of the traditional rulers at Iseyin in Oyo State at the weekend, the Council of Obas and Chiefs in the state yesterday said that they promised to respond to former President Olusegun Obasanjo at the appropriate time, noting that the incident was unfortunate. If you recall, he was actually invited by the governor of Oyo State, Makinde, and many have reacted. They said that we respect protocols. We would not explain what happened last Friday. It's unfortunate what happened. However, members of the Oyo State says that they are law-abiding citizens and respect constitutional authority, and they're all leaders, so they will respond at the appropriate time. However, his wife, Mrs. Taiwo Obasanjo, yesterday begged for forgiveness on behalf of her husband, the former president.
Because the former president has always respected royalty.
Yeah, so what happened? So somebody was saying that somebody was saying it was probably part of being senile. It says that I think it was one of the kings who attended the event, the Onipetu of Ijeru Kingdom, Obasunde Oyediran, yesterday said that the former president should not be taken seriously, adding that senility is affecting him. So they are
it's the traditional rulers that have problems. Why would I go stand up, sit down?
Auntie, mind your business. We will respond at the appropriate time. We shall respond at the appropriate time to tell you why we stood up and we sat down.
Even put crown, keep on the floor.
That's not the same event. It's a different event. Don't mix it. Don't join
issues. Of old age. So I think it's not, because when I first heard that word, so I felt it was a negative word. Anyway, some bank MDs are going to be losing their jobs and get arrested.
Yes,
He said
now.
some bank MDs.
That's why they were joining the strike now.
Yes.
Remember other labor and they're wondering why your was late.
Said individuals to siphon money from that anchor borrower scheme.
Wow.
That because the CBN had an ambitious plan to feed the nation, there was a disappearance of 557 million out of the 1.1 trillion given out by the Apex Bank. And they said there was a connivance between the bank heads that they are risking being arrested, and lengthy detention will be effected from today as the deadline given by the president. The president is on a goal to retrieve money. So when people are already going back and dropping money, a lot of monies are going back into the coffers now. Quietly. And
no, so ask me, why is bank joining NLC strike? When everybody come here, when did you start? You are now seeing they're unraveling some things. No problem, we'll see it. That is all we can take on Front Page Review. And return, move on to the hot topic of today. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
It's not just where, but who wouldn't you want to work with?
Yes, that's on that angle.
So Laifa had a very, very interesting...
You wouldn't want to work with who?
There's no judgment.
No, and I
they'll
respect,
judge you
I
definitely,
respect
but we won't
this
judge
certain
you.
type of people. But what I dislike so much is when they tend to come to work and then they pour all their
Resentment from
on
whom?
you. Is it me that offended you? I'm not the one. I have no business. Mom just come out with you, pay me at the end of the month, and let me go back to my house in peace and sleep. But when it comes to like divorced people, I cannot work with a divorcee. I can't see myself doing that. If I find out, if you can hide it or not, but if I find out,
When they're nice divorcees.
I would just
What
be.
if they are nice?
Okay, now it depends. If you are nice, cool. But if you are the type that you don't know how to keep your anger to yourself, you always pour it on somebody. Well, I'll not drop my resignation letter, no matter the amount you're paying me.
So it's more passive-aggressive people.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, definitely.
And I cannot work with stingy people.
See this one.
Because you cannot be passing me in the morning, afternoon. I can say, oh, hi, yeah, I'm working. Oh, yeah, take 100 naira, take 10K, take 15K. You don't have to be my sugar daddy or sugar mommy. See, the way you treat others is the way they will treat you outside. And if you cannot treat your workers well, they are not a good boss. If you cannot be dashing me small thing or giving me donuts when I'm working, you are not a good boss.
Thanks for staying with us. So our hot topic today is a follow-up to our show on Friday, following the tragic death of the popular artist Mohbad. A meeting was convened at the Police Air Wing Muritala Mohammed Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, on Saturday, involving the Inspector General of Police and the Commissioner of Police for Lagos State. The objective of this investigation is to unravel the circumstances leading to Mohbad's death, shed light on any potential foul play, and bring those responsible to justice. Joining us on the show is the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Idowu Owoha. The police, representing him is the police PRO, that's the Lagos State Police Command, SP Benjamin Hudeyin. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on the show
today. Good to have you on the show. You can call us on 08176411679. 090241634440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. All right, so on Friday on this show, we discussed Mohbad because everybody, the whole of social media has been going on and on about his death, the circumstances surrounding his death, the issues that happened ahead of time. Since we have you here, could you give us, in a nutshell, what your own investigations have shown so far as regards to what caused the death of this young man?
Okay, I would say we have commenced the investigation into this matter, and it's premature to give you an update of what we found out, but I can assure you that investigation is in top gear, and at the appropriate time, we would update you accordingly.
But my first question should have actually been, the letter we saw that he had written to police, talking about the threats that he's had, to Nigerians, they felt that nothing was done, that how come he had to die for us to even find out about the letter. So at the moment you get that letter, what was done between that time and the point he died?
Well, for us at Lagos State Police Command, what we are investigating is suspected murder. The letter you're talking about talked about threats to life. Yes. And that was submitted at the office of the AIG in charge of Force Criminal Investigation Department, that is Alagbon. So we are not actually focusing on that now. We are focusing on the murder. But like you asked, what should have been done? Yes, a petition is received. Investigation should commence immediately. Now, I'm not the spokesperson for Force CID. The spokesperson for Force CID granted an interview and explained that he was asked to come and maybe substantiate his claim or even write a statement. Because to open a case file, the first thing you need is the statement of the complainant. The petition does not suffice for statements, except the petitioner chooses to adopt that petition as a statement. Either way, it will still need to show up, because these are foundational issues that often lead to cases being struck out of court. You know, the magistrate would berate the police and say, oh, improper investigation, so maybe it could be struck out. So we tend to do, we try to do things properly. So the spokesperson explained that he was asked to come and he did not show up. Well, it's okay if you are not around. You could equally send your lawyer to stand in for you. So that is that. But for us, we are focusing more on the suspected murder, and we'll make sure that justice is served.
Okay, so there are controversies concerning his death, the cause of death. I want to know if the police has found out exactly what killed him.
Oh, that's why we are investigating. And so we've heard different conspiracy theories. We've heard different versions of things. And so it's our plan now to harmonize all of these things, look at them critically, and come out with our findings.
Did he die in the hospital? Was there any hospital reports showing this could? Yeah.
That's on our checklist. The hospital, the nurse that allegedly gave injection and all of that.
We understand you don't want to disclose some of the things I am looking at, but there's a trend that is in the music industry and has existed before Mohbad's death, where, you know, label records are involved in cultism. You see the signs everywhere. They promote some of this in their lyrics. The use of substance, the abuse of substances, and because of his death now, I'm seeing, personally, I'm feeling that what I see going on is even a stronger cult rivalry happening, because now people who did not speak up, other artists who had this story, are now suddenly becoming vocal. Imagine you know someone personally. If as I know Tokwe now, I reach out to her that, BC is on my neck. She's trying to take my life. She's doing this and that. And Tokwe didn't speak up. They didn't encourage me to seek redress. They didn't fight for me. They didn't call out BC. And then suddenly, I pass. And Tokwe suddenly becomes very strong and he's saying, no, it's until now. I don't see it as, a fight for that person's life. I see it that you're fighting something underground that we cannot see. Are you investigating their businesses and how they run? Some artists have come out recently to say, I was with this person, this label. I was forced to do things I cannot explain. I am no longer with them. Those people are still alive. Are you investigating cultism and how it's permeating to our society and how they are taking children? In Ikorodu now, you have Ikorodu boys. What does it stand for? The other day, Zazu, what's his name? An artist called Zazu, called out and said 1 million boys will do something. Are you investigating cultism?
Yeah.
Okay, so cultism has been identified as a major problem in Lagos State. It is a major problem.
Within the music industry?
Okay, within the music industry, yeah. Even within the music industry. So we work with the Lagos State government, the Ministry of Youth and Social Development to fight headlong this menace. We intend to visit schools and talk about these things. But talking about this particular investigation, the truth is every investigation has a starting point. You know where you're starting, but you never can tell what you would stumble upon, what you would uncover. So as this investigation progresses, definitely, if we stumble on cultism, it will come in. If we stumble on fraudery, every other thing. So it's going to be a wholesome investigation. But cultism definitely has not been ruled out.
I remember I was listening to a particular interview. He said every region has their challenges. Every state has its own challenge. For some, it is banditry. For another person, it's kidnapping. For Lagos, it is cultism. That is the major insecurity challenge that Lagos is facing. So, yes, entertainment industry might be the one that is bringing it to the front now. On other days, it is the Agberos on the street that would bring the cultism to the front. So when we deal with the root cause, we probably find a situation. But I wanted to ask you, social media, you are always on social media, and this has become a social media campaign, Justice for Mohbad. It has become a trend. And my challenge with when things go viral like that is we rarely get the truth. It has become sensational. And when the investigation comes out and it doesn't toe the line that has been preconceived as justice, they will not believe it. We've seen that in many other social... Yes. That people will now start saying, no, the police has been corrupted, they have connection, is all of that. How are you, knowing the backlash that will happen, preparing to present your case in a way that you'll be able to get people to understand that you have done you've done your part without giving favor to connections? Because the name Sam Larry has come up over and over again. Pictures of him with the governor has been shown. His level of connection in high places has come out, and that's why they say he's above the law. So even if he's innocent or if he's not, how would you be able to prove to the people on social media or Nigerians that the investigation was unbiased?
Well, we're going to do our best. We'll be as transparent as possible and we'll make our findings known to the public. But know one thing, that people that are bent on finding fault in you would always find fault, no matter what. But for us, we'll stay above board, remain transparent, and present to Nigerians the findings of our very diligent investigation.
Okay, I have a call.
Oh, you have a call.
Let me take a call from Daniel. I'll come back to you, BC. Daniel, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yes, good morning. It's my first time, actually.
Welcome to the show.
Now, a very good guy, very quick. And no, I thought nothing with me. For me, I suggest the police should actually go there and take that body out before anyone does. Because when you are looking and you want to do an investigation and there are solid proof, the major proof of that autopsy, definitely these guys will want to go there. I don't know how they do it, where the father himself can't boldly come out. They should simply go there if they need approval from any judiciary system.
We didn't get the question. Go ahead, BC.
Yeah. I wanted to talking about the body of
exhuming. Is that part of?
Possibility?
Are you considering exhuming the body?
Definitely, it's one of the options on our table, and it's sweet. Let me put it that way. That we have the state government on our side. The governor called on Saturday and pledged total support for us. So if after our investigation, the first steps of the investigation, maybe checking the medical reports from the hospital where he was treated, histology and all of that. If we have enough grounds to want to investigate further, so we need to exhume the body and conduct an autopsy. Yes, we have not ruled it out. There is a high chance that we'll do that.
Okay, are there people willing to come out and witness? And if there are, is there any plans to protect them? Because we heard of several people being threatened before he died, and they may have information but afraid to come out because they don't want those people to come after them. Do you have any plans to protect anyone who comes out to testify against what happened to Mohbad?
Yes, from day one, the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, CP Idowu said that there will be total witness confidentiality. 100%. So for those who have information to give us, let them rest assured that we would not divulge their identity. Please, we beg people to do this for Mohbad. Come up with whatever you have. It will not be easy. Okay, like you said, social media, the way some of the social media users think. Some people say, oh, haven't you been seeing all the videos we're posting online? Haven't you been seeing all of these? Do you need...
Pick it up.
It doesn't work that way. You pick it off Twitter, you present it in court, and it's not admissible. The magistrate will say this evidence is not admissible. It's better if someone gave that information.
Okay, I'll come to that in a minute because let me take this call from Adekoke. Adekoke, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Okay, I want to ask the officer a question.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, what is stopping you from arresting Zinoliski and with all the Marian crew members? And again, yesterday, I saw a video on TikTok. Do you know this guy called Salo? Do you know him?
Do you know the guy called
Malo or
Salo?
No, I do not know Salo.
He's some popular TikToker. He was playing the video yesterday. Then he said, if the police are to arrest Zinoliski, they should come and arrest him. That he has something to say.
Okay, let me put it here in perspective, Mr. Because nobody's going to come forward until they feel like there's some kind of seriousness on the part of police. And I know that you're doing your best. But what Nigerians want to see is the posture of the police taking this really, really seriously beyond. Because there are so many people that want to speak. But they don't trust the Nigerian police to defend them. They don't trust that their justice will be served. So they are holding back. For example, when that letter initially for the FCID, I know maybe because we watched too many movies, and I'm sorry that our police is not there yet. I apologize. I know that you guys are work in progress. But what I would have expected, somebody sends a letter that somebody is threatening my life, that I'm under threat. Now, that in itself, for me, is a red flag. If I was a concerned police speaking for the state, I would reach out. Either get them some kind of a prosecutor or something, just to let them know that we're on this case, invite them. I hear he was invited, but somebody should have followed up. There's got to be something to show that the state has a stake in my welfare as a citizen. This boy that just called now, they're saying that people are doing videos, but what's the next step? So what Nigerians want to hear from you? I have evidence. I'm in my house. I'm scared. What should I do? How do I approach you? How do I know that when I come to you, I'll be protected? Not just that, nobody will find out, because many of them feel like the police is compromised.
Yeah.
Nobody will find out it was me that came to you, and that you will actually make arrests, at least for investigation, for questioning.
Well, that's why the press statement we issued on Saturday, we put a phone number there that you can reach this number. So it's where we can take advantage of technology. Call that number, hide your number, have a conversation. If you are convinced, after that conversation, we could take it from there. It could be you sending an email. It could be you meeting us somewhere, even if you don't want to be seen walking into the state CID or state command headquarters. But there are ways to do these things. Just trust us this time, call that number, and we'll take it from there.
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with this show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abby?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay,
Thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink.
Huh?
No problem.
Okay.
I've always known this as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never really bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. It's out there.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
I just said, look, I give you this one as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
I'm not done. You did not say final answer.
Final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final
answer. You
answer.
don't have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
How many cameras do they have?
Nikon.
My friend to drink. I gave you a very easy something.
Nikon now.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni, Yeni, Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger!
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
I'm not here to answer questions, I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born in 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ fẹlá. Ọmọ Anikulapo Kuti. Wọ́n rò pé kíní kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still questioning DSP. And then, go ahead.
So I wanted to ask you about the fact that how are you reaching out to people? Because you have said something that is very, very important in passing. You said that videos are not admissible in court. Tweets are not admissible in court. The fact that somebody came and posted online and said, I spoke to evidence. I witnessed this thing, is not admissible in court. How is the police reaching out? Because you might think they should be wise enough to come to you. How about you reach out to them to say, we're inviting you to just express on record this thing that you posted online?
Okay, first let me correct that. I did not say videos are not admissible in court, or neither did I say tweets are not admissible in court. I'm just saying the way you get these things might determine its admissibility. The same video that's online can be admissible if you get it directly from the person or from other sources, not online. I'm just talking about pulling things online and presenting. It could have been anything from anybody. So that's it. The second part of your question. Okay, so reaching out to people. You are still finding a way to force me to talk about this investigation. I didn't want to talk about it, but the truth now is that we have a list of names, suspects, and we've begun locating them. Okay, let me not speak too much about this, but we've started gathering information, and we are also reaching out to people. Some of these Twitter handles are not monikers. They are real people who we can actually send DMs to say, can you give us more about this? So we've started all of this background work. So it might look like nothing now, but at some point you would see people being invited, picked up, arrested, and it will start taking shape. So I can assure you that work has begun, but I do not want to. I want to preserve the sanctity of this investigation.
I understand. But you mentioned earlier, that's bothered me, that the initial petition he didn't come to put a statement on is not what you're working on right now. And I think that's very important, because for this one now you don't even have a petition, but in that petition names are many that he highlighted. There was a situation that happened, and it alludes to bullying, which could have also led to, a situation. I say that it might be impossible to prove a murder if there were no weapons, no physical damage to his body, or proof from, the autopsy that, substance was given. But we can prove the gbasgbos that, was in that initial petition. There was a beating video. There were videos, immediately following it. There were videos of the attack, and there are sources to that. If you don't now want to give attention to that petition, there's a problem for me. Then there's also although it's online, I don't expect so much, but I know that if you probe it, you'll get somewhere. The accusation of his royalties being withheld by his record label. And if this is true, you can just trace it to him. There's a crime there. So are we going to stick solely to the suspect case, or we're going to expand this investigation to reach other places?
Okay, so to answer that, I said earlier that we are not working on that petition. We are working on suspected murder. It does not rule out getting information from that petition. If we can get information from Nigerians out there, we can also get information from that petition. So we are not totally discarding it. And like I also said earlier, we know what we set out investigating, but we cannot tell what we'll stumble upon. So if we actually see that, royalties are being stolen or embezzled and all of that, definitely it will be another count in our investigation, and we'll do due diligence.
So people have called out Mr. Governor Sanwo-Olu. I mean, so many celebrities have gone on social media calling him out for one thing or the other because of a photo they saw with one of the alleged suspects with the governor. And you have also said that Mr. Sanwo-Olu has called you on Saturday to pledge his support. Could you expatiate on that so that people know that if he's really involved in ensuring that the justice is served concerning this matter?
Okay, first, on Friday, I received a call from one of the special advisors to the governor, and was telling me that, Mr. Ben, that guy, we do not know him. Don't even have the idea that is our boy, and that maybe you might be reluctant to protect him. We do not know him. He disowned this particular name that has been all over the media. And the governor took calling. In fact, I can say this, that the Elegushi too, or by Elegushi, called to say, see, I do not know this person. Go ahead and do your investigation. So everybody that has been mentioned have been calling to say, I do not know about this. Go ahead and do
officially for me.
Yes, go ahead and do your investigation. So if you ask me to expatiate, I think that's what I would say.
Okay.
Everybody is clamoring for a very transparent investigation and
I don't
justice.
think the award is enough. I know that we are also victims of, can I take a picture with you? You know, I know this person, and in certain circles, because you just mistakenly took a picture with a random stranger.
Now saying her.
But I don't think the award is just enough. You know, what are their affiliations?
I know that the Legacy came up with the press release, I believe. I think it's important. So I'm happy that you have told us they called you and they told you to do it 100% and they're not involved, which is a good. I'm happy that the police is aware. So Nigerians can hopefully know that they are going to be this matter is going to be fully investigated.
And because of my Twitter people, because they will say, oh, so if they did not call you, you were not going to arrest them. No, do not get it wrong. Definitely they have been on our list. We're going to do what we will do, but it was also better that we also got this clarification from these people.
Yeah, so Nigerians are calling for protests in Ikorodu and some parts of Lagos. Are you aware of this? And is there anything the police is doing to avert this?
Well, I've seen it online, but we always advise people to reach out to the police, not to seek permission to go on protest. It's their right, they can go on protest, but to just get us informed so that we'll deploy more officers there and ensure that it is not hijacked, and there is no fracas, and there is no threat to life and property. So we got the information, and so as not to divulge too much on how we operate, yes, we have an office called SIB, that's the State Intelligence Bureau. So once we get some of this information from any source, open source, the internet, we do pass it to them. Like this information we got, get your operatives in the field to work and verify if it's going to be. And of course, if there's going to be a protest, we would not stop it, we would not squash it. They have the right to protest, but we would ensure that their lives are protected and there's no breakdown.
What about the wife and child right now? We saw threats at the burial, people making statements, family members, you know, making statements.
Legend,
the father talking right and then talking left, and then just yesterday the mother. What are you doing to protect his immediate family members, you know, who might be victims of the continued bullying?
In addition to that, the royalties that might be getting, because he's topping the charts now. Who is getting the royalty? Would his children, would his child and mother be protected, wife be protected? All the money he's going to be making, obviously, in the coming weeks.
Would they get a bit of it?
Yeah, those are contractual
matters.
Yes,
contractual matters, okay.
Yeah, but nonetheless, we are not ruling anything out. We are doing a wholesome and comprehensive investigation.
So there are two sides that I wanted to just give a bit of clarity on. There was on social media somebody that was saying, he has hired a lawyer to fight the case. He has paid millions of naira to the lawyer. I'm not the, you know, she's a lawyer here, so she probably will have more information than me. But is it when a case is a state case, you still need the person, this victim now, does he still need to have like a lawyer representing him to support the case by the state against the suspects that might have information about the fact that he was murdered?
Yes.
He still needs to have a...
No, it's not compulsory, but he's free to have a lawyer. I don't know if I'm getting your question right.
Yes, so my question is, people came online to say that, like, I felt like because it is a state case, somebody is saying he has spent money to get a lawyer to represent Mohbad.
Okay.
And he's saying that we're bringing justice to this guy. I've paid for a lawyer to fight his case for him. Okay. Is there need for that, or is just being done voluntarily, or there's the lawyers from the state office?
There's absolutely no need for that. We are prosecuting this case, but it's fine. If the family wants their lawyer to be present, to be part of it, yes, it's fine. It will be accommodated. It would work with our legal department, and together we would prosecute the case.
Then one more thing, there was
let me pause you for a second. I have a call from Tokwe. Tokwe, thanks for calling.
Okay, your name's sick.
Hello, you're live.
Thank you for calling.
Yes.
Good morning. So I just want to draw your attention to something like this. Sometime last year, these guys were picked up by NDLA, and of course this video is being viral, and when they were saying that they raided I think Naramani's house and stuff, and supposedly Mohbad was also picked up. Now, after he died, of course the video went viral sometime last year. The wrong thing that he was picked up by NDLA. Now, after he died, videos came out, and where they saw that he was saying that when they picked him up, they gave him some kind of substance to drink. Now, NTLA came out and said he was never arrested. And then they brought out the names of those that were arrested sometime last year. So my question now is, if he was not picked up, if he wasn't among the people that were picked up then, why didn't NTLA come out then to say, Mohbad was not part of the people they picked up? Why did they wait till now that he is dead? And then they waited for the video to come out. After the video, of course, surfaced, they now came out to say, no, this guy was not part of the people they picked up. I don't understand that. Okay. Now that
do you have some
that question is for Femi, Papa Femi of the
I was going to ask about the cult threats. So we've heard that some cultists, some cult groups have threatened to attack a certain person because they feel like they are defending Mohbad. Now, would the police take that threat? How is the police taking that threat? Is there any investigation into it to quell before we now hear something happened and you're like, but the police knew, these people already threatened they were going to do something?
Okay, so I've been receiving lots and lots of tags on social media. I wake up to see hundreds of tags. So I'm not unaware of that too. And for me to have been in communication with the OC, the officer in charge of the homicide unit of the State Criminal Investigation Department, who will also be overseeing this special investigation team that is looking into this case. So this is something I'm aware of, and this is something I've also sent to him, like, look into this. It might give us a clue. So we're leaving nothing to chance, absolutely nothing. And do not forget that this special investigating team or special investigation team comprises seasoned detectives, not just general detectives, but seasoned homicide detectives. So we're expecting the best from them. And we assure Nigerians that we would leave no stone unturned to ensure that justice is served.
Okay, we have some tweets.
Let's take a few comments on social media. Go ahead.
You're referring to Adebayo Ilukweju says...
I have a call, I think.
Okay, go
but let me go on a break. When I come back, I'll take your comments. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
This is 7 of 7. My name is OJ, and signing a sobriety into my hands tonight on this social experiment called the 7 of 7 is Owen G. What is the name, or what was the name? You say I won't make them better now.
Rock Heart.
No, of the goats. When they brought it on stage.
The name of that goat?
Yeah.
We should go there.
No, that one easy now.
I'm just drinking this so that I can ask him my own questions. It's not because of
Buga.
He didn't get it. You know. Okay. Mention 10 female stand-up comedians in Nigeria. See, just mention their stage name. If you annoy me, you will mention their real names and the year they started. And if you annoy me further, you mention the names of their husbands and the names of their children. Try me now. Okay, mention their name.
No, let's just...
No, wait. No, don't, no. Name, real name, stage name, husband name, children name. 10 of them.
Even the 10, that's a lot.
Eh?
That's a lot.
Did I cut your question for you?
Yes.
When you were happy now. With your hunchback. You are wasting time. We don't have time. See, my brother, before we go on a commercial break, you are stubborn. And I told you since. The fact that you play this your hair does not mean, you understand? See this bad hair you are looking at. It's experience. I've suffered before you.
But I try now.
When you there during the military era of Abacha and Babangida, you know what happened?
I be Gen Z.
So that Gen Z, I will remove 4 out of 10.
That's like
4 out of 10 they pass exam. Don't drink this thing. Well, baby, you are on here. Drink out. If I land you.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to be wrapping up very soon with our guests, but let's take a few comments on social media. Go ahead.
So Emma Coco says, imagine someone sends a letter to the police that his life is in danger. He now says, in a very derogatory way, that you're saying that they invited him to show and he didn't. How can this Nigerian police be? If he's sending it at the point of death, it is the spirit that you expect to show up. Emmanuel says, someone petitioned the police over threat of life again, suggesting that, something should have been done at the time. What do you have to say to, the...
I think he mentioned that because there are lots of frivolous petitions that come to the table.
I think he mentioned of
the... So what the police was saying, what he mentioned was that they get a lot of frivolous petitions coming to their table. So it's not every single one that you can then follow up with. He had answered that so that people need to actually come. I get that, but that's why he said your lawyer can also come, even if you can't, you're incapacitated. So one of the things I like us to leave this place with, if you can organize a workshop for Nigerians, because the truth is that we don't, when we watch American movies, we know Miranda rights. Even without you entering America for the first time, you already know that once you say, once they read you the Miranda rights, you know what your law is, because you have an idea. But nothing here communicates to us what the steps are. If I have an issue, I call 911. Okay, here I call 121, or is it 122? 122. Then what happens? Does the police call to my house to come and investigate? We need that process. So if there's none yet, if we work it together, let Nigerians know. Walk us through a workshop where this is what you need. These are the issues. These are the evidence that are admissible in court. If you keep doing social media, it can't help. It can't help you. This is what you're going to do to prove your case. If Nigerians get more of that, when things happen, they know how to gather evidence to send to you, because many of us are just confused right now on what to do to get justice. Let's take a few more comments on social media. Just feedback.
Yes. So while you are looking for the comments, let me just add, what would you advise anyone who is going through bullying right now?
Yes.
There are people who are going through bullying, but they don't know the steps to take. They are afraid of going to the police because they don't have the money to pay. Do you have to have money? Do you have to have a lawyer before
they feel that their bully has connection in the police?
Yeah. So
the police well connected.
Should they do?
What do they do?
Okay, I would advise them to take the step Mohbad took. Submit a petition, complain, and try to at least show up at least once to substantiate your claim, or have somebody represent you. It could be your brother, not necessarily a lawyer. Some people don't even know where to get a lawyer. And it could be your brother, your mom, to just substantiate this. And once we have something to work with beyond the petition that was submitted, then we'll get to work. So I would advise people not to chicken out, not to be scared. Just trust us.
Okay, I have a message that I think that would corroborate what you just said. Hi, I had written to the police concerning my spouse threatening my life. I had written a petition, and I was invited. When I went there, I was able to start the process for a restraining order against him. So sometimes you have to go and apply and put out your petition. So this is somebody who has gone through the process and able to get a restraining order through the court, obviously. But she took that step. So, yeah, you're right. But more people need to know that these are the steps they need to take to get...
But the same, as people are complaining that, oh, what if he did not show up? There are many more people who show up. We call them to say, can you come and substantiate your claim? And they come, and they are better for it. So I'm just saying, it's not all like this. Yeah. It's also the other way too.
Okay. Okay, so I think we can wrap up on this. Thank you so much, sir. I think you've been able to touch on all the major issues. We'll be waiting for the investigation. Do you have an idea how long this investigation will take?
Well, no investigation has a timeline. You don't know what you would stumble upon. You don't know how extensive it's going to be, but we'll make it as speedy as possible.
Okay.
And we'll promise to keep Nigerians
carry us along.
Yes,
let us know. We can call you back for updates, and we'd like to see a few arrests. You know how America nothing else just arrest somebody. Just arrest.
You'll see that. You'll definitely.
I don't arrest the wrong people.
Definitely.
And beat them into confession.
No.
It's just kidding. It's a joke.
Some people beat somebody into confession. Please, okay, thank you very much, sir, for coming us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
That is all we can take on this segment. We really, indeed, will be looking forward to justice being served, because everybody wants justice be served concerning Mohbad. It cannot die in vain. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we will continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail, or maybe mocktail. we need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Ladies and gentlemen, multiple award-winning actor, producer, ambassador of Edo people, we have Etinosa Idemudia in the building!
Don't be first to go police station, they win the case.
Is
So
she?
you are showing yourself.
I go say that's my second
You are
question.
feeling like a contact the prancing peacock. I'm about to cut your wings. Hello? Now, in the amalgamation of 1914, who was the woman who drew the line of the amalgamation? Who cut the report? Who is the person that used scissors? What is his name?
That woman.
You have done me dirty. I've marked your face. I've marked your face. If anything happened to me,
I don't
if I don't reach my house. Anyway, I'm gonna be chauffeured, so.
You remember now, Avi? Yeah, but you never too thin. Now you remember.
Hey.
If a person who indulges habitually in watching a sexual material is called a voyeur.
That's what they're called.
You clearly say you don't go even get the next one.
Hey, a voyeur.
Voyeur.
Then go on.
What is a person who makes one
A
call?
voyeur. A voyagiste. A bon voyage.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so a story broke recently, just yesterday, the distribution of palliatives to cushion the effects of the removal of fuel subsidy by the government reportedly got into an issue in Ondo State, as one of the commissioners in the state, Dr. Mrs. Bumi Oshadahun, was beaten up to a pulp. According to the story, the fight broke out when some leaders of the APC from the Arigidi Akoko alleged that the exercise was shrouded in secrecy by government officials and kicked against the arrangements, alleging that the commissioner was marginalizing him in the sharing of palliative. If you recall, this issue of palliative, when it started, you know, after the subsidy removal, the president had offered initially to send 8,000 naira across to Nigerians, to 12 million poor Nigerians. Many of us rejected it, saying that it's not about the money, that they need to put other incentives, maybe transportation, discounts, which a few states actually implemented. Then they went on to the 5 billion naira per state that each of the states was supposed to get, of which I think it was 45% or 48% will be returned. Anyways, many states got these palliatives and were supposed to distribute it. NLC raised dust, saying that they were involved in the national level at the meetings to discuss palliatives. When it came to the state chapters, we're not involved in the distribution. So NLC said, you didn't call us when how you plan to distribute. Now, maybe we've scaled the NLC part. Now it's not going to local governments. Some are now saying that the commissioners, or according to in this case specifically, that they were not involved in the sharing. Some commissioners with the local government chairman and all the other various stakeholders felt they should also be involved, that they were being marginalized in the sharing. Now, aside from this matter, because this matter is that this man, I think they have his name here, let me get his name, is the ward chairman of the party in Arigidi, in Akoko Northwest, Olumide Awolumate, was present, and he was present at distribution, but nobody knew what transpired between them. He carried a chair and hit this woman. She's the commissioner. Ew. He hit her head. We could see the swollen head. We could see a bit of blood patches around her head. And this is the issue of palliatives. Nigerians will say, distribute palliatives. They need palliatives. And when we do it, this is what results. Now, what are your thoughts? We'll start with the attack, and then we'll come to the issue of what's the best system to distribute palliatives to Nigerians. So let's start with this attack. What are your thoughts on the attack?
What are the criteria for leadership? How does somebody become a leader? How does somebody rise to become a ward leader? What are the characters that the person displayed that earned him that leadership position? So for me, when I saw that video, I saw, how would you get someone to become a leader that has anger management issues, that cannot control himself? If you cannot control yourself, control your emotion as an adult, there's a problem. Your inability to control yourself as a leader becomes a worse problem, because you will now cause a stem of violence to flow through everybody you are leading. How then can you lift a chair to hit a woman? Ew. Obviously, we cannot argue domestic violence is happening in that situation, even in the household. Exactly. Because I saw the face of the man, and I'm wondering, this is not a man that should be a leader in any form. And I know human beings are allowed to get emotional and get angry, but like, acting on your emotion and acting on your anger differentiates you from being a leader, a human being, or an animal that cannot control him or herself. Putting that on one side, the second part for me is palliative is food, giving is leverage. So if the woman is seen to be sharing palliative, the glory of the palliative, which gives you leverage, comes to the woman. The man wants to be involved in the sharing. So the glory and the power and the influence will come to him as well. Everybody is fighting for their own pocket. The concern is not about the citizens of Ondo State.
Wait, pause. Let us take that in, because Nigerians must understand this thing. What you are saying, what you are communicating is one thing to share. It's another thing to distribute. The distributor himself wants to feel like, it is in me that I gave you. It's not your father's property. It's government property. It's me that gave you.
So that
you are now allegiant.
I have influence over you.
Father in heaven.
You owe me. When I say vote for this person, you vote for the person. If I give out 10 bags of rice, those 10 people, those 10 families are beholden to me. I have power.
The woman may have been seen as so you want to run for office in future, so you want to be the one distributing. I will show you that I'm in charge. Okay. So that's an angle. Interesting. Let me come to you.
Institutions to share.
Thank you. One reason why?
Use individuals. We must use institutions to share.
Exactly.
There should be somebody like NEMA who is reaching out, or the office of the what's her name, Beta Edu's office. Who is reaching out in each state, making sure they go out.
Let me even add to
not
that.
One politician. Not in fact, no politician.
Let me add a better suggestion. Let's use religious bodies. churches, mosques have been distributing palliative for forever.
They
have a system. No, see, there are small scales of religious. Every group has their own. For example, RCCG has many churches, has many branches in the smallest of the smallest. Same thing as Winners.
Yes.
Mosques. Everybody have branches.
All the mosques are always giving every day
through the churches.
There's no connection.
Churches have a system in place.
The abuse is huge. They will give to only members. Not every neighborhood member is a member. Now, I can argue it because the last palliative they did during COVID did not reach my community at all. We don't have church. A very big Catholic church is there. They had to be doing from their pocket. So, and if they were to do strictly for people who would show up, it would be members. I live on that street. I would not go there. So the CDA would be a better alternative.
Yes.
If these agencies were used to assess CDAs, they will be made to give notices to every resident member. Notices will go around that so day. Come out
now.
If you live here.
What happened? No,
you understand? No. The agencies will come to your meeting and distribute, not a politician in your community, enough for them to throw share and break somebody's head in public. Because over food. If you know that if we say it as it is in our own local way, now they fight over food. You break Pacey Picking head over food.
So if the chairman press, for example, calls in the neighborhood, he can't call BC. BC will not show up. But BC will go to our church. I agree with you. We can do it simultaneously. Where there are certain people that would you call within the local government. There are some people that traditionalists will call and they will listen. You can't call BC or call me for a traditional come and collect rights. I won't answer you. But if my church says, government sent us 10,000 to give to members, we will come. We know how to pick it up. There's a way. There's a system where we know. Those who are in the community will go to their albers.
So I agree with you in the sense that we have a way of trusting religious systems more than even the government, right? So if you make that call, like I remember during COVID-19, this church, House on the Rock, shared things to people who were not members. Anybody just walking. They were giving clothes, they were giving food. You didn't need to be a member.
From the pocket of House of the Rock.
Yes.
That's what we are saying.
I'm just saying. Now, if government now says, okay, these people already have a system on how to share, and we come in with our resources and say, okay, this is for everybody in this neighborhood. You just make announcement.
How you want to get data?
No, hold on now. Tell your friend, tell your neighbor, everybody just open. Our doors are open. You come in, you register, you collect, and you
doesn't mean that you negate the local government.
No,
they will still do their own.
They will do.
Local government will still do their own.
Let me break down my point.
This takes it away from, like you said initially, the politicians standing in front to present because of what they want to benefit.
I've even removed the politician. I'm saying, let's say NEMA reaches out in an emergency, because I give out palliatives. If you don't have a data and a proper structure of how to give out, somebody will collect everybody's own as he's collecting one. He will go and come back and replace himself. But if you worked with the CDA, for instance, we have an estate WhatsApp group of every tenant and resident in the estate. They will reach out by WhatsApp. So day Thursday, the Kinikon month of the year is distribution from the agency. The agency comes with their official, no logo of party, no logo of any politician, and there are politicians within the estate. And there are people who are affiliated to certain politicians who are living there as well. But no logo. Agency, clearly NEMA or LASEMA or whoever, whichever the state is, and they are giving out. Per resident, house number, so and so. Dagbaja clearly receives her own and goes back home.
Dagbaja has 100 people living in her house. Listen,
I will not use. Wait, hold on a minute.
There are different levels of this in Nima.
Residents,
we're taking it up. Okay, wait, pause.
We're talking the distribution.
I'm just telling you that it's not as easy as the because
that
Dagbaja's house
I have tested it from childhood.
Adults who are also Nigerian citizens who deserve a palliative. So there are different ways of doing this thing. But let me come to Tosin calling from Ikoyi. Good morning, Tosin. You're live. Hello, Tosin, you're live. Okay.
So I've not finished, I've not spoken about the man that carried chair.
As in
public.
In public.
Number one, he needs to be punished for this.
Yes.
He's not a good example, as a leader, as a
Demoted.
political leader, he needs to be either demoted, suspended, punished. He needs to go to an anger management class. We need to start holding our leaders accountable. You don't do that to, you didn't even do it to a man. You did it to a woman. What are you teaching the young men who would come to you tomorrow that they are beating up their wives? What do you tell them? And we need to also verify his home, because if he can lift chair and hit a woman in public, something is happening in that. I'm sure his wives are collecting back to back. So we need to set an example. People need to be able to control their bodies. Everybody gets upset. Everybody gets angered in one way or the other. But when you're in the public, even when you're at home, you should learn how to take a deep breath. Calm down. You don't react like that. And then if he goes away scot-free, it's back to patriarchy. It's back to patriarchy, where women can be silenced and nothing will be done about it. So this man needs to be punished. He needs to collect for that chair that is stole.
Come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Not just where, but who wouldn't you want to work with?
Yes, that's on that angle.
So Laifa had a very, very interesting...
You wouldn't want to work with who?
Not
There's no judgment.
No, and I
Oh, they'll
respect,
judge you
I
definitely,
respect
but we
this
won't judge
certain type of people. But what I dislike so much is when they tend to come to work and then they pour all their
resentment from
on
home.
you. Is it me that offended you? I'm not the one. I have no business. Man, just come and work with you, pay me at the end of the month, and let me go back to my house in peace and sleep. But when it comes to like divorced people, I cannot work with a divorcee. I can't see myself doing that. If I find out, if you can hide it or not, but if I find out,
when they are nice divorcees,
I would just.
What if they are nice?
Okay, now it depends. If you are nice, cool. But if you are the type that you don't know how to keep your anger to yourself, you always pour it on somebody. Well, I'll just drop my resignation letter, no matter the amount you're paying me.
So it's more passive-aggressive people.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, definitely.
And I cannot work with stingy people.
See this one.
Because you cannot be passing me in the morning, afternoon. I can say, oh, yeah, I'm working. Oh, yeah, take 100 naira, take 10K, take 15K. You don't have to be my sugar daddy or sugar mommy. See, the way you treat others is the way they will treat you outside. And if you cannot treat your workers well, they are not a good boss. If you cannot be dashing me small thing or giving me donuts when I'm working, you are not a good person.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this issue of palliative, and I'd like to pick up from when I'm coming back to you because you said something and it struck a chord in me. You said something about we need to take a deep breath. We need to have anger management classes. And what came to my mind is that these are like foreign solutions to a local problem. Let me tell you why. Because we've always said on this table that maybe our leaders need to be swearing with Shigedi. Because if they do that, maybe they'll act differently, because we make them swear with the Bible or the Quran, and then they do certain things. That this anger management, this deep breath that we take in all these our coaching classes doesn't work for certain kind of people. We need certain kinds of local solution to help people like that, because you will see the rage in these people's eyes when they are sharing palliatives. Something more Jegba-ish needs to be done. Where there's got to be something more drastic, in the sense that something that will connect to this kind of leadership that we see. So sometimes maybe we need to look within, because all these, each of us trying to give them an anger management class, it's not going to work.
No. I disagree with you.
Okay.
We need to understand what anger is. Anger stems from a place of fear, first of all. fear of losing control. Check the situation of what happened. He felt this other person is sharing, I have lost the people, I have lost control. And then you react out of fear. Now, those anger management helps you understand that what is the driving force is not the emotion per se, it's the fear that you are losing control. You can actually, and when you have fear that you're losing control, you overreact. You can actually take back your control by understanding your emotions. That's all I'm saying. Understand your emotions. Amadioha is a temperamental God. Even the God of the Old Testament is a temperamental God. He will get upset, he will kill his people, he will send them to slavery, they will beg him again, he will forgive them, he will bring them back. Read your scriptures, it's there. So we're not saying you should not have those feelings, but we're saying understanding where the feelings are coming from helps you manage yourself at the time. And it works for everybody, no matter who you are. You can calm down, take a deep breath, and before you react again, you react from a more responsive, you react from a more a place of understanding. You react from a place of compassion after you have calmed down. There's nobody who gets upset 24 hours without having a minute to calm down. And we're saying in this situation, please take yourself out and calm down. That's all.
Good, well said. Let me take this call. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning, Nancy.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. You're live. Go ahead,
Nima,
please.
you're welcome. Nima, you're welcome.
Nima, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You're most welcome. I'm one of your...
Thank you.
Now, let's go straight to the point. Look, I think the best mode of supply of this, the best to be the church. Say, for example, in the Catholic Church, you have a society called St. Vincent de Paul. Every year, they give, to the poor, the widows, the hungry. You understand me now? And in such a way that they cannot take in many churches, same Catholic Church. No, it's done at the same time.
It's not very clear, Mr. Ladipo. It's calling from Ojo. I'm not sure why it's not clear. We couldn't hear you very well, Mr. Ladipo, but thank you. I think we got an idea what you're saying about church. But I have somebody who is contradicting that. I'm not sure he wants me to mention his name. But send me a message, Mariah. I live in Lagos, but I keep in touch with goings on in my community in Akwa Ibom. Giving to churches to distribute will be disastrous because our churches, I'm sorry to say, suffer from the same societal malaise. Fights occur in churches over sharing of money and other stuff provided by politicians and all. Church members kill each other. I gave bags of rice to my community women last Christmas, and you can't believe the bloody fights that broke out amongst women. So yes, you're right. But the different churches.
Yeah.
But I guess the reasoning, but the reasoning I was trying to apply or employ was that many churches already have a distribution system in place. Now it might not be perfect.
That they fund.
But the government can liaise or can partner with many of these institutions and try to imagine the central mosque, for example. They have other mosque links. I'm just saying it's a suggestion where they can still. The idea really is to find an existing system to key into, and in addition to the local government distributions.
So
that I'm just saying, gets round.
So there are structures in some churches and mosques, and there are some that they don't have. So using religious organization, it's like this is, look at that woman's head. This is a human being that is a commissioner that is serving. And sometimes the reason this woman probably had to go and do physical personal sharing is so that she's sure that it is going.
Exactly.
So that nobody.
But she's attending the state council meetings every Monday morning, and she reports to the governor. We distributed.
I want to be there. I want to see it by myself that the food is going round. And then somebody is feeling like you are taking over my authority, and then she gets beaten. So of course we know that there should be punishment to say that as a party, the APC does not support violence. APC does not believe it. This does not follow our character, our values. This is not who we are. So first, we have demoted him while there is a prosecution going on. This is not a family issue. It should not be settled inside the house. There should not be any assumption of the fact that they will resolve it among themselves, because we know what we tend to hear when these kind of things happen is that they are settling out of court or they are settling it personally. No.
If they beg and
the reason you should not settle personally on this one, it's not because you want to fight. It's because you want to set an example. so that things like this will never happen to any other person again. That's the reason. You are not being vengeful, Commissioner. You are not, they should not beg you to step down. The conversation should be around the fact that if justice is not served in this matter, this would happen in the next few months. It will happen in the next
Okay, let me take this call because Ibrahim from Mokota, thanks for calling. You're live. Ibrahim.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Everybody.
Yes.
Madam Nima, you are welcome back.
They really missed you.
Actually, I wanted to speak on the first one, which is when we brought the commissioner, the policeman, concerning the youth not accepting judgment, even the police did thorough investigation. I think we are giving our youth some leaders. We can do things and make sure that they have to be satisfied with everything. Law does not work the way they want and can never work their way. We need to learn the process, how things work, and try to.
I'm having trouble hearing. Did you hear?
About the first
topic, Mohbad.
No, the police segment that we had, that the law does not work how we think. The law has a structure of how it works.
Yeah.
Trying to allude to, a petition being followed up for investigation.
All right, talking about palliatives in a related story, we got the message from the Katsina governor intercepting police officers who reportedly or allegedly stole subsidy palliatives. Goes back to, you see, we don't trust each other. You see, that's one of my frustrations in our country, because government is always the easiest people to point at. But all of us have somewhat guilt in our various pockets. According to StarTimes, the governor intercepted the police officers who reportedly stole. So subsidy that is meant for the people. But it's possible that he also, we don't know how true it is, it's still an allegation.
But it's not today. They've always stolen from the IDPs. People in charge.
People in charge
complain.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's
lack of,
you're right.
Lack of prosecution of those in charge.
What
That is why
this
particular case in Ondo, for instance, should be made an example of. If the people they were giving the food were fighting and struggling to get more, I would not be upset like this. But one individual is saying, you have not given me to give, to leverage, Abi. What's the point that you made? To leverage, that person is corrupt to the bone. Because ordinarily, you allow the commissioner finish distributing before you highlight and say, this segment of my people whose interests I hold are yet to get. We've had that experience before. We did something during COVID where I decided open 2 bags and let us share it. Because my community were coming and saying, you are not talking about us. COVID, palliative, will not get here. And do you know where the first factory was broken? It was in Ojo. It was in Maza, where people went into warehouses and stole foods. People's businesses were being attacked. If it was those people who were hungry, out of hunger, breaking it, I would understand, because we've seen it before. But one person saying, give me everything, I'm the one who should distribute.
Let me take this call
that
from
person
Hope.
is corrupt to the teeth.
Hope calling from Ejibo. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, Martin.
Good morning.
What I want to say is not about palliative. I need job. I can clean your office. I can do any work I beg.
Interesting.
Thank you very much. Let's go and
we get that all the time. And just
we're going to break.
Okay.
We'll come back, we continue with the show and wrap up. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, multiple award-winning actor, producer, ambassador of Edo People, we have Etinosa Idemudia in the building.
Don't be first to go police station, they win the case.
Is
So
she?
you are showing yourself.
I go see as my second
You are
question.
feeling like a contact the prancing peacock. I'm about to cut your wings. Hello. Now, in the amalgamation of 1914, who was the woman who drew the line of the amalgamation? Who cut the report? Who is the person that used scissors? What is his name?
That woman.
You have done me dirty. I've marked your face. I've marked your face. If anything happened to me today,
I don't
if I don't reach my house. Anyway, I'm gonna be chauffeured, so.
You remember now, Abby? Yeah, but you never too thin. Now you remember.
Hey.
If a person who indulges habitually in watching a sexual material is called a voyeur.
That's what they're called.
You clearly say you don't go even get the next one.
Hey, a voyeur.
Voyeur.
Then go on.
What is a person who makes one
A
call?
voyeur. A voyagist. A bon voyage.
And ask questions if I want to ask questions. And if it's something that I saw coming, I may not even ask questions. I may just I may even tell you I saw this.
What if it's in person? But then would it make a difference where? So like this person might just say, you people can just be on 3rd Mainland Bridge on a bike. And the person say, babe, I cannot do it again, and you lose range. So what would change? What would change the scenario? For, like, does it matter where? Do you want to have like a fancy dinner, like the film you were mentioning?
No, like finding your
and then, or do you want to be on the street?
No, carry me go fancy dinner.
Or you might just una dey run for treadmill.
Or you na dey jog.
You tell you lose for your web.
All right, thanks for staying with us. Before we move on to take some comments on social media, the caller who called concerning the job, what you should do, you see, it's always easy for Nigerians to just call and say, I want a job, come and hire me. It doesn't work like that. There's something called a website, tvcnews.ng. Go there, go online, search for jobs, apply. It's a process. After you apply, if you are shortlisted, you will be invited. It's a process. Not until you call somebody. I can't say, come and work. How? Is it my father's company? No. You can't even be my father's company. You can't do the process. Nigerians, there are processes to things. It's not like just say, call, bring somebody, get a job. It doesn't work like that anymore. Go to their website, apply. You'll be called once you're qualified, you'll be shortlisted, and then you take it from there, please. Yeah. Let's take a few comments on social media.
Smiling at more.
Jules said he has assaulted the woman and should be arrested. Good Beats Entertainment says, why do we act like animals? He also says, that was disgraceful. He needs to go to jail.
He says, it's corrupt to the bone marrow safe. Ogumola Emmanuel says, governance isn't that hard. It only seems so because the system isn't structured and checked. Things can be micromanaged from the local units, but because of chua-chua, coordinators won't allow it. How they want gain.
This thing Tokwe said earlier, let's talk about it before we wrap up. This issue of leverage. How do we cut off these middlemen? You know, that's the real issue. That's what technology does. That's what. How do we cut off these guys that need this distribution to show that I am the chairman, I am the world chairman, I mean they in charge?
Systems you put structures. You put systems in place. Everybody goes through the due process. So it takes out all the politicians, it takes out all the people who want to show their face. Nobody's seeing the face, they're just hearing government is the one providing this. If you go abroad, you see some of these shelters where people can get in to sleep or go to eat, you know, those food houses where people, if you're not earning any money, you can go there, they'll serve you, they serve their meals there. Nobody sees any councillor there, nobody sees any mayor there presenting and serving the people. They just know that government has made this provision. They employ people to run the kitchen, to run the shelters. They pay them. They are part of the civil service. They pay them for that. And citizens are able to get the benefits. So we need proper systems. We need the LCDAs need to step in here and say anything that is coming to our people must pass through the LCDA. So, you don't have to boycott them. You must go through them, go through the right system, and then we don't need all this.
We have a problem of data and, you know, how do I put it in Nigeria? There's also the problem of the people against the people. What I would suggest that later worked in Lagos was the creation of the food kitchens. So instead of giving you the palliative, if we have 30,000 bags of rice, those 30,000 bags of rice, Ojo, Alimosho, all the areas you want, create a food kitchen per street. Employ the workers. Their own is to cook daily. People passing by collect, chop, and go. So me, if I'm too big to collect the food kitchen food, it means I don't need a palliative. But people who truly, sincerely need it will never see food being cooked and pass it. I remember then, even though we were eating at home as a student, I used to collect all the food kitchen. All the I will eat any food because
that's part of the reasons why BVN was so important. Because BVN tracks everything about you, your social status, what you need. government, and that's what government wanted to send 8,000 naira because we rejected, we resisted it. That it can help us to understand who actually needs this 8,000 naira. Okay, yes, we don't trust the system, no problem. But sometimes when you have a BVN, they now know where to reach you. Okay, you need this palliative. They come to you because there's a system.
They can tell what is in your account.
Yes, and they can bring it to your house. They can give you groceries. They can do stuff for you. But that's
great. Also, this one they are doing in Lagos. You know, putting the subsidy on transport fares in the public buses and also putting out food kitchen. That food kitchen, fantastic. They don't pay your transport half.
Olabi, our final call this morning. Let me let you go and we wrap up. Olabi. Oh, I'm so sorry.
So you know why I like why I like the food kitchen is, you know, when they give you the rice and the beans, you still need to look for money to buy tomatoes, buy pepper, the gas or kerosene you want to use to cook. But when the food is cooked, you go there, you eat. That sorted you for the lunch or dinner.
Even if you want to be a glutton, you go chop. You don't go.
You know, there's a church I know that did this, but unfortunately people abused it. Because I go there, and then you come with your children, your aunties, before you know it, and now because I know the person who is serving me, they'll prioritize me. You know, we always kind of corrupt it in the small way. It's part of the greed thing. So even if it's a good idea, people will still find a way to manipulate this. So that's why we just have to find a better way. But we have to wrap up.
We're not going to import people that will solve the problem.
Lucky lads.
We have to run, but I got a message from the, I guess this caller might be getting a job, but no, I didn't promise you a job. But the HR said to give you the right website. It's actually tvccommunications.tv. www.tvccommunications.tv. Go there. There's a place called career section. Roles available are advertised there. Check it. If you believe you qualify, apply. If you qualify indeed, you will be shortlisted. Then an interview will take place. And if you're picked, and if you're not picked, it's okay. Go through another website.
Nobody's going to ask me for the websites. Watch the show and hear.
Okay, that's all we can take on today's show. Are you vexing? See you tomorrow. Bye for now. And to talk about what's that website?